Hey, hello, my friends. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you may be, as I am recording this video. This is your boy, Dark Lord Turgon, coming at you today to give you a new, fresh update on my 8th season playing Lord of the Rings Rise to War. And what a doozy of a season it's been. It's been a really nice change of pace compared to what has been established for me as the quote unquote status quo. And to put that in perspective for you, first off, I just want to let you know we are playing War of the Ring, and we're playing as Dark Side. All my other seasons I've played light side or the good side. The last 3 seasons all basically had the same result. In this season I played as Erebor. We got boxed in the northeast corner of the map for about 5 weeks of the season, and then a rare, beautiful occurrence happened where there was a betrayal, and a team that we had been fighting flipped and started fighting the other people that we were fighting, and we were able to bust out. And we didn't win the season because that team that did the betrayal, we felt earned the win, so they got the ring that season. The next 2 seasons, the same thing happened, but there were no betrayals. In this season, as Gondor, we got boxed into the south, and it was a boring season. We spent the last 2 or 3 weeks just waiting for it to end. And then the same thing essentially happened playing here as Arnor. We got boxed out in the West. And so I said to myself, I'm tired of being boxed in a corner of a map, put in Pandora's box, and waiting while the winning factions set up their glorious ring battle by Dol Guldur that no one else can participate in. There's no chaos allowed on this server because everyone is just being managed. And by and large, in all of these seasons, except for, this one, these 2 seasons were essentially determined within the first 10 days based upon diplomacy. And I didn't like that. So I am here playing a campaign that has no politics, War of the Ring. And it's been a lot of fun. Um, we're dominating. As you can see, there's a lot of pins on the map, lots of little pieces of fighting here and there. We're working our way towards getting 40 control points so that we can get this last title for the season. As soon as it decides to load here it comes. I'm going to come over here to control. This is what we're working on, full siege here, so we can get that extra title. We've already won. Frodo's fully corrupted. It's done. The season is done. We're just waiting for to A, get this full siege, and B, wait for that little timer to show up that tells us when the season will be over. Let's see if anything's going on. We got some fighting up here happening. Nothing really happening currently at the moment, but I'm sure that things will start to heat up at some point. Also, we just very, very recently came over here and took these areas in the map. I guess it's time for me to take these pins down, eh? Let's remove these pins. They're no longer needed. Mission complete. Still a lot of cleaning to be done, and that is work in progress before we move on to the next target. So, good times. We're having fun. We've won the season. It was a hard fought season. Um, Typically, from what I understand in War of the Rings seasons, the servers tend to be really lopsided, either towards the light or the dark. I recently saw a Facebook post of a War of the Ring server that was completely painted blue. And as you can see, and then a lot of other seasons where I talk with people, it's usually painted red because the evil side has a special commander in this campaign, the Armored Sauron, and he is just a ton of fun. And I've walked through him in some other videos, and I'll walk through him again in another video because I'm going to keep this fairly short today. But he does bring a little bit of unbalance to this server. And the thing that I really love about this campaign is my favorite style of play is when I get to sit back and defend and not really attack so much. And that's really by and large what happened quite a bit this season. Really, the starting point came over here at the Argonath. Um, the good side wanted to come over here and cross into the dead marshes, and we just held this critical crossing through, I think, five fellowships on the good side had war, perhaps simultaneously. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we held, and that was really the start of the end for the good side. We were able to take Emyn Muil and then eventually Eastham and just completely trap Frodo in the Dead Marshes for a long period of time. And then we had already captured Osgiliath and just had Minas Tirith completely surrounded. And so when that event occurred and the city was open to being attacked, we were able to capture it fairly quickly. Not a whole lot going on around here now, as you can see. Most of the good side opponents, just to give you a little bit of history, when we started this server, there was about 400 active good side players and about 275 active evil side players. I'm not sure exactly how many active evil side players we have. I'm going to say we have still somewhere between 150 and 200 on a good day. At this point, the good side has somewhere between, I want to say, 50 and 100. So there's really not a whole lot of big activity going on. But as you can see from all these pins on the map, there is a ton of little activity happening all around the map. So that's kind of what's going on. We're just waiting for the season to end. Evil Side has won. We're just working towards getting that final title by taking 40 control points. Good Side is making it challenging for us. They're not going to like all season. They're not going to let us have anything very easily. We'll have to earn it. And yeah, I just want to provide a little bit of an extra insight into those numbers. I had said 400 good side to start the season, 275 evil side. I would say the evil side had more whale or players that could be considered whales. And that was definitely beneficial for us. That and just there was a lot of younger light side teams players on here, and they clearly were not like I felt like the good side leadership made good calls in terms of what strategies to do, where to go, when, but then when they got there and they fought, that was when the inexperience showed itself. They were not doing things that experienced, seasoned, and well coordinated teams do to win fights, and I think that they overestimated their strength and just kind of threw themselves at us, thinking that through strength of numbers they were going to be able to overcome us. And it worked out in our favor. We were able to come through even with far less players. And also, there's a distinct early season advantage that Good Side has where they can level their commanders extremely quickly and they can outfarm us extremely quickly and they can get developed much more quickly than the evil side can. And they didn't take advantage of that as much as I felt they should and could have. There was definitely a point in the season where I was going against level 50 commanders with my um, Khaldun back when he was like level 38, 39, 40. He's fighting level 50 commanders. And he was able to hang in there, but not, the level disparity definitely, leveled the playing field in favor a little bit for the good side commanders. And then once that advantage was gone, once we started, rolling out T4 units and getting our commanders to like level 45 and above, then their ability to fight us effectively was pretty nullified. So, just some observations concerning that. I never saw any sort of, you know, great strategic coordination across the good side factions. And an example of this would be, okay, they had two or three full fellowships, and then like four or five fellowships that were about half full. And I mean, they should have consolidated some of those half factions into full fellowships, and they never did. And I should have seen some sort of like structure with how they decided to use their Warhorn. I never saw six Warhorns going at the same time so that they could, try to use an overwhelming strategy against us. And conversely, I didn't see any cycling a war where they could have constantly had two fellowships with war pushing us somewhere, waiting for us to crack. And I never saw that happen either. Just teams declared war whenever they felt like it, and there was no coordination, there was no strategy regarding that, particularly from the younger teams, the smaller teams. The bigger teams did what they could do, but it just wasn't enough for them to overcome, the evil side having that armored Sauron. We just plop them on critical crossings, and then they wouldn't be able to get through them, and supplement them with some of our other commanders. And it worked out really, really well. So it was an interesting season. It was a fun season, in terms of like if you look across like, contribution. There's a lot of prestige here on the evil side. I put a lot of work in the season, both not only in terms of fighting and playing, but also working with leadership across the group to ensure tight coordination. And it really worked out well. I mean, you can see we have a lot of players above 2 million prestige. So these guys really put in a lot of work. 15 players above 2 million prestige. And then if you look at how many players have over 1 million prestige, it's significant. Significant. 50, 60, 71-ish. This guy might be a little bit below 1 million prestige, these two guys. I would assume this guy probably is the cutoff point. 272 contribution could be gotten from hitting control points. So we'll say 69 players with 1 million prestige. I'm 100% confident that that number is nowhere near as high on the good side. So that's basically the synopsis of the season, some observations that I've seen, what's happening currently, and where we're going. Looking forward to the next season. And I hope that you found this video to be interesting, insightful. Feel free to leave any comments below, and I hope the rest of your day treats you well. Take care and stay well.